Good morning students. Today we will discuss how enzyme is combining with substrate and how it is working. So what do we know that enzyme is having active site. There are particular active site and the active site is having a particular shape. For example, this is the enzyme and this is the active site. The substrate molecule that is combining with the active site, because the particular substrate which is having that particular shape, so that only can bind to the enzymes, because the enzymes they are also very specific. So when the substrate is combining with enzyme, then there is formation of enzyme substrate complex, and this reaction, so that is reversible. It can take place in both the direction. Okay. Then after the formation of the enzyme substrate complex, there is transformation is taking place in the substrate and the product is produced. So now it is enzyme product. Enzyme which is associated with the product, then the enzymes that will separate from the product, so that we are getting E plus P. So like this you can find out the substrate. Ultimately it changes to produce another compound which is called product. Okay. Then what are the factors which are affecting the enzyme activity? There are so many factors are there which are responsible to regulate the activity of enzymes. Number one is the temperature, number two is the pH, number three is the concentration of the substrate. So temperature, all of you know that enzymes, these are all protein molecules. And the protein molecules beyond 45 degrees centigrade, the protein molecule will start breaking or denature. So naturally when the enzymes they are also protein molecules, then beyond 45 degrees centigrade, they will start losing their biological property. So specific enzymes they can act only at a particular temperature range. Now below also it cannot work, and the above also it cannot work. Similarly, the pH, so that is also another factor. Now the medium should have the particular pH, either it should be acidic or it should be the alkaline or it should be the neutral, so that the particular enzyme, if the enzyme that is acidic, then the medium should be acidic. If the medium is not acidic, then the enzyme cannot work. For example, in the digestive system chapter you have read that in the stomach the enzyme which is liberated, so that is acting in the acidic medium. And if the medium is not acidic, then the enzymes it cannot work. So the pH, so that is also another important factor. Now pH, all of you know, so that is the hydrogen ion concentration in a solution. And depending on the pH, you know that the solution it can be either acidic, the range is 0 to, in between 0 to 7, 7 is the neutral, and in between 7 to 14, so that is the alkaline solution. So temperature and the pH they are also equally important for the enzymes to act. Then concentration of the substrate, because enzyme is having particular active site. Initially when we are increasing the amount of substrate, then because the active site is free, so the substrate is able to bind to the enzymes. But after certain range, when all the active site they are filled, they are already bound to the substrate. Then after increasing the concentration of the substrate also, you can find out the rate of enzymatic action, so that will not increase. So when the saturation point is reached, then there is no increase. Then what are the inhibitor? Inhibitor are the chemical compounds that bind to enzyme and shut off enzyme activity. There are many compounds. Now when these compounds they are binding to the enzymes, then these compounds they are called inhibitor, because they can inhibit or they can stop the activity of the enzymes. And there are two types of inhibitor. One is the competitive, another is the non-competitive. Competitive inhibitor is competing with the substrate, and if the inhibitor is more stronger, then it can bind to the active site, so that the substrate will not be able to bind to the active site and there will be no enzymatic reaction. And the non-competitive inhibitor, they are not competing with the substrate. Substrate is binding to the active site, and these non-competitive inhibitors they are binding to the other side of the enzyme. the work of enzymes. So these are called non-competitive inhibitors. Now we will discuss how enzymes are classified and how naming is done. So that is called nomenclature. Now in the process of naming, we are adding the suffix ASE to the substrate. For example, if the substrate is liquid, then the name of the enzyme is lipase. If the substrate is cellulose, then the name of the enzyme is cellulase. Alright, so we are adding the suffix that is ASE to the substrate. So this is called nomenclature or naming of enzymes. Then depending on the classification, we are classifying enzymes into following types: oxidoreductase, transferase, hydrolase, lysase, isomerase and the ligase. Okay, so oxidoreductase, oxidation and the reduction, both the reactions that is taking place. Now here you see one substrate that is reduced and another substrate, so that is oxidized. When the product is produced, then there also one is oxidized, another is reduced. So the name is given oxidoreductase. Then the second one, transferase, transfer. So that means the transfer of a group between a pair of substrate. For example, suppose the substrate, there are two substrates, S and the SY. And to substrate S the group G, so that is attached. Then after the enzymatic action, now this group G, so that is transferred to S dash. So because the transfer of the group is taking place, we call this kind of the enzyme transferase. Then the hydrolysis all of you know there is release of the water molecules. So here also the hydrolysis of the particular group is taking place. The group may be either ester, ether or the peptide bond, and there is release or liberation of water molecules. Then lysis means breakdown. So lyses are the enzymes which are removing the group from the substrate by the mechanism other than hydrolysis. Now here you see, here the release of the group by hydrolysis, but here the hydrolysis process is not taking place. By any other mechanism there is release of the group. So these kind of the enzymes, they are called lyses. Then the isomer, all of you know that these are a different form of the same compound. The number of the atoms and the molecules will remain same. Only the arrangement is different. So you can find out there is a different shape is there. For example, in the carbon chapter in the class 10 we have studied, there are so many isomers of the carbons. Okay, for example, charcoal and the graphite. So these are all the isomers. So the shape is different. So the enzyme which is catalyzing the isomerization reaction, now these are called isomerase. Then the ligase means they are joining or linking. For example, two substrates, they are participating in the reaction and they are combined together to produce the product. Then this is called the ligase. And the enzyme, so that is called the ligases. Okay, so these are all the different classification of enzymes. What are cofactors? Cofactors are non-protein constituents which are attached to protein, which are attached to enzymes. So enzyme is the protein part, and to this protein part when some non-protein parts they are connected, then that is called cofactor. And cofactors are of three types: prosthetic group, coenzymes and metal ion. Prosthetic groups, these are all the organic compounds and they are attached to the enzyme, which is a protein molecule, and it is tightly bound. For example, peroxidase, that is an enzyme, and the peroxidase, it can break hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen. So here the prosthetic group, so that is a heme, so that is an iron containing compound, organic compound, and it is attached to this enzyme, so that the enzyme can break hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen. Then coenzymes, these are also the organic compounds, but they are not tightly bound. They are loosely bound to the enzymes. For example, NAD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. So that is a coenzymes. Metal ions, there are many metal ions which are also connected or attached to the enzymes. For example, zinc and the manganese and the magnesium. And without the metal ion or without the attachment of all these different types of the cofactor, the enzymes it cannot work. The catalytic activity is lost when the cofactor is removed. So the attachment, so that is equally important to the enzymes. What are nucleic acids? Nucleic acids, now these are all the biological compounds, organic compounds which are found in the cell. For example, you know that there are two types of nucleic acid. One is DNA, another is RNA. DNA, so that is mainly present inside the nucleus in the form of chromosomes, whereas the RNA, so that is associated with the ribosome and it is making protein. So the DNA, that is the genetic material which can carry all the genetic information from parents to progeny, whereas the RNA, that is mainly associated with protein synthesis. So in the living cell there are two types of nucleic acid. One is DNA, another is RNA. This is called polynucleotide because one nucleotide that consists of deoxyribose sugar, phosphate and nitrogenous base. And DNA or the RNA, so that is a non-polymer. So poly means many. When many nucleotides they are connected to each other, then we call it as polynucleotides. So these are all the long molecules. And the deoxyribose sugar, so that is a 5-carbon compound. Because if you study the structure of chromosome which is made by DNA, then the chromosome is having a double helix. And mainly in the backbone you can find out there is deoxyribose sugar and the alternate phosphate, then again deoxyribose sugar and the alternate phosphate, so on like this. The direction of the two helix, so that is different. One is called 3' to 5', another is called 5' to 3'. So here you see, now the direction, so that is different. Okay, and the space which is there in between the double helix, that is occupied by nitrogenous base, the compound which is having nitrogen as an element. Okay, there are 4 different types of nitrogenous bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. And these nitrogenous bases, they are also pairing in a specific way. Always adenine is pairing with thymine by the formation of 2 hydrogen bond, and cytosine is pairing with guanine by the formation of 3 hydrogen bond. So in the middle space you can find out nitrogenous bases, they are present. So this is all about nucleic